get knocked going on, let me down.
Black and modern. On the real.
All right, folks, welcome back to another exciting episode of What Will Bitcoin Do Next? I hope you had a great couple of weeks since we were on last. I hope you watched the last video so that you weren't so surprised when what we talked about happened. If you didn't catch the last one, you're here now. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. because we're going to drop a whole lot of info for you today that you're going to be able to use for the next couple of weeks. And if anything changes, I'll pop on and talk about it. But typically, I try to come on here, give you an idea for the next week or two. And if nothing changes, we don't have to change that idea. If you want to come in the group and chat about stuff, I've got a free side to my Discord. The link's down below. You can jump in there and ask questions anytime, and I'll be there to answer them. But for the most part, when I do my lives, I come on, update when things are actually going to change, and we go from there, right? So first, we're going to talk about where we were last video and what we were looking at. I'm going to go over what happened and why, and then we're going to start to break down some ideas from there as to what we think might happen next. All right. If you're here, thanks for joining us. I see the House of Trades is in here. Appreciate it. So we'll step out a little bit. So last couple videos, really, we were looking at this pattern. This is the pattern we were looking at, I think, for two streams in a row. And we were looking to either be able to break this line, break up here, hold, and run, or we were looking at the alternative, which this was, a continuation pattern. Rising wedge, we're looking to run down, rising wedge, and run down to a measured move idea. So we broke down below, had our bearish retest, perfect confirmation on our idea, and down we went very quickly. What I want to do is I want to go over to the Discord, and I'm going to show you exactly how we came up with that idea, and I'm going to kind of play through how it all went down for you so you can see it. Oh, it had already happened. Okay, give me a second. All right, so here we were looking at this pattern idea, and this is the continuation. We're right up at the top, so at this point we have to break through, and we have to get a bullish retest to continue, or we are going to get rejected on this pattern, and we're going to run down and break below. That was given out a long time ago. And then we did, in fact, break down to the bottom of the pattern, got rejected from the pattern, and continued on through our levels. So we gave this idea out way up here. This is the one alt that we've been looking at, just the one alt. We haven't been overlooking at alts yet. We're just talking about what's coming up. Obviously, we had a great run since the last video. And this is multiple times now we've been catching this. It's just been staying bullish. And as far as the Bitcoin goes, we continued to give lower target ideas. And we did, in fact, hit those lower target ideas. So even in the free side of the group, we've been sharing this out every step of the way based on this pattern idea. We did finally break that pattern, and we broke down below. And since then, we've just been doing some smaller time frame ideas, trying to see where our pattern's going to end up holding. And we've also been able to catch some runs on this new local pattern. So that's the idea that we were looking at on Bitcoin before. We got our play out down to that level. So now we'll look at a little about what we might be looking to see in the future here. So we're looking to see this level hold at this point. Based on these previous levels, we have support and resistance many times here. So this is a key level that we're looking to hold. If we're unable to do so, we have to go down to the next level and the next level. Overall, this is a pretty important level that we're coming down to here, this curved or this angled rectangle here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points of support in the history of Bitcoin on this level. So it will be really interesting to see what happens if we, linger sideways for a while here potentially, and then come down to test these levels. Do we break right below them and lose our momentum, or do we just do a fast wick, break back in, and continue the Bitcoin run to higher levels? I mean, if we ever touch the top of this line again, people are going to get what they wanted from Bitcoin. So right now, that's what we're taking it as, level for level. We had lots of indicators up here telling us that we were done. That rolled down into this pattern. We had lots of indicators telling us we were going to take another level down, and we're there now. So what we have to do is wait for this next pattern to form. We need some kind of a formation of a pattern here to give us an idea. Remember, so this trade idea was based on this curve. This trade idea was based on this. And now we're in an area where we don't have a lot of data and we're waiting to see something form. Let's go to my other chart for dominance. All right, so dominance, we are looking for the same thing still. Nothing's changed on it. Maybe we'll have to extend this pattern if we're going to catch support. So if dominance lingers in here and pushes, it's not going to be great for alts just yet. If this is a bearish retest, if we go to push up quick, get rejected, and start running down, that's the alt season we're looking for. So ideally, we're still in those areas. We're still at the levels that are very important for our alt season, but this needs to make a move first. And we've been talking about this every video. It's just been running sideways, this pattern slowly forming. And what we're going to need to see is a breakout of this pattern, kind of like we had here. We had the big run up. We form a pattern. We do a breakdown, bearish retest on these higher dominance levels, and we finally do a big pullback. When you get the big pullback, that's when you get the real alt season. So that is what we're currently waiting for right now, and we have to take it level for level. Make no mistakes, when we were up here in these areas, I'm not switching the tool, whatever. When we were in these areas over here, people were accumulating alts like crazy. That was the time to be, slowly scaling into these bigger alt run ideas. So it's definitely a time to be paying attention to alts, have them on your radar, be charting them and planning for them, but it might not necessarily be time for them to take off. When they do, have your things in order, because it will happen fast and everything will go back to normal. All right, so total, we were watching for this rising wedge. We were hoping we were going to hold this level and be able to push up higher. And then we were even hoping we would form some type of a consolidation pattern here. But unfortunately, once we did break this level, which we haven't broken in some time, once we did break it and we're unable to push back in, we saw a big rejection, big pullback, big sell-off on the entire market. So these are things we were watching for, being hopeful that we would continue to push right now, but it doesn't necessarily have to be the case. All right, so healthy healthy pullbacks. We're still in the same band. We're still expecting to keep pushing, to keep growing. And of course, nothing says we have to rainbow over to zero. It's just a trend idea until we're able to break it. So, I mean, we're not far off of this being as low as it's going to go. The total market cap, I can't predict, is going to drop much farther than these low levels that we're seeing right now. Once the whole thing will collapse, let's be honest. So this even seemed excessive. And then as far as gaps go, we have a gap up here now, 81. It's something to watch for. Possible bounce area. Anyways, it's pretty quiet in here. We'll switch the tunes back on here. All right, so yeah, we do have a gap here, so keep an eye out for that. And as far as, you know, down below gaps go, let's just hope we don't fill them. Wouldn't that be a scary drop? Now 40 we're really looking at. 40 we're really looking at, but we'll go over that again on the Bitcoin chart. I just wanted to go over dominance a bit. Okay. Let's go to the higher time frame here. All right, so the reason that we were looking at this level for a pullback is because of this previous run and the levels that we got rejected at. And then this area here, obviously we have it turning from support to rejection multiple times in this area. So this is why we chose to put these lines here and look for a pullback down to that level. The next level that we're looking to pull back, if we're unable to hold here, is down to the 40,000 area. And that's again based on previous cycle support and resistance ideas. This is exactly how we anticipated the idea over here. A long time ago, we were here for this. And when we got way up here and we saw the bearish divergence, I went on the charts and I drew a line right here and I said 13K incoming. Now I was a little off with the group. We actually only went to 15K, but again, it's in that range area, right? So that gave us a pretty significant pullback. Oh, wrong one. You know, we had a nice 77% pullback there. You pull our top here. Now, nothing says we have to see the full 77, but seeing that big pullback when we switch into the bear market for Bitcoin is something that you can most definitely see. People actually left my trading group. Multiple people messaged me and said that they were leaving my trading group because when the price was way up here, I told them that we were going down to this level at $13,000, and they laughed and left the group and messaged me up months later. So you have to be ready for things like that to happen in this space. And that is why we're always looking to enter on bullish looking patterns that we think are going to break, and not enter on these up rallies unless we're doing it on pullbacks with, again, bullish pattern ideas to go along with that. So if you're not able to find a bullish pattern on a smaller time frame to confirm that you are going to continue up, there's a good chance that you're going to see the top of the cycle and roll over. So keep that in mind as we're looking at patterns like this, and we're looking at things like this as we go through the altcoin list, because there are coins that we want to be paying attention to and we want to be getting into, or maybe that we want to be trading right now because they look like they're going to run up for a while, and there are some things that look more risky. They look like they've had their bit of run, or maybe they're just not going to run at all because they don't seem to have a lot of momentum. So just be mindful of that as we start to break this list down. And we're going to go big time frame because we had pretty nice moves. All right, so we were looking at Ethereum in this large pattern. And these lower levels we were looking at based on this previous price action. But we did, last time we were looking at the idea that it would kind of do it slowly. Maybe stick into this pattern here, but we obviously dropped right down through. So we're going to have to adjust our local pattern idea now and see if we can still hold a clean falling wedge. We're going to want to see a push up to the top and then maybe see a double bottom happen. And ideally, we'll see this curvature push through and run up, much like we had here, right? Like last video, if you go back, we were talking about, I think 8 is a perfect example of it. We were saying we might see this last pull, this big pullback before the alts make their next moves up. So we could just be looking at that, and really we've pulled back to a level. You know, we were in the rising wedge and we had the pullback, and we've pulled back to a level that seems pretty consistent and had a bounce. So really right now we have to watch and see what we form here. So Soluna, obviously we were hoping to hold this, and if we fell down, we said we might have to come test this, and we'd be looking for some support here. And that's what we're looking for right now. We really want to see this hold, try to run, be able to hold again if it's going to continue and push up through. If we're going to run up and do a bearish retest here and get rejected, it's very possible that we do a quick pullback. The last final scary pullback before we run, right? But again, we're looking at falling wedge patterns, long drawn out consolidating patterns. That's where the money's at. All right, GRT, where we left it last time. We're down in the area of these lower levels here. Now we are catching a bounce on the curve, but again, we're going to watch this level. You're going to want to break up here in a bullish way to give you an idea that you're going to run up here. If not, this could be something that just lingers. Once we lose that level, then we're going to anticipate a bit of rejection, trying to reclaim it, and possibly forming a bearish pattern before we take another level down. If we're holding this level, we're going to zoom in, look for a bullish idea. And we will zoom in a bit here, but I want to just go over the higher time frame stuff because we did have a nice move on some stuff in the downward direction, and I just want to look at why that's okay and nobody should be panicking. All right, so Binance BNB, we were looking at a continuation pattern here. You know, we got the downtrend, continuation triangle, and of course downtrend again. We had 2 targets in mind. We went much lower than expected. So obviously we've come down to this range. There's been a lot of support. And, you know, previously up here there's been resistance. So we're definitely coming down and testing these levels. But again, we had this pattern, so that gave us an idea. Now we've had our move. Our move has happened out of all of our pattern ideas. So now we have to wait for these patterns to form again. Now you can go into smaller time frames, use all these patterns ideas, and you can trade something that's running sideways on the 1 to 5 minute time frame all you want to. You use these same patterns and same ideas. If you're not familiar with how to do that, don't just go running in there and do it. join the group chat. There's lots of people that do it online, actually. Alex O, he's always doing amazing scalps in the morning. He'll show you how to get down into the small time frames, use risk management. But if you want to know stuff like that, join the Discord. Join my Discord as well. His Discord even is going to tell you all that stuff. But I like to talk about stuff like that with people one-on-one, as opposed to, I mean, it's impossible for me to go on and make a video on YouTube that someone's going to watch tomorrow when the move that I was talking about is already going to happen. So that stuff's for in the Discord. It's happening live. You have to react quickly to it. So if you want to do smaller time frame trading, come join us in there. Links down below. Trump definitely not holding or respecting its line. Not impressive. Really hoping to see it hold and continue to push and be able to break this pattern. I mean, it's a nice consolidating pattern, but it's not pushing yet. Now what will happen, they'll do something down here, they'll push it back in, and then it will run. Of course. But here's a great example of something when it breaks through our idea, we have to consider the fact that we could consolidate for a while. It's gonna have to turn around, break back in. Okay, so again, Link, we had two choices. We were hoping to see it hold this pattern, or unfortunately lose it, and then run up to look for a bearish retest. So right now as it sits, we've lost this level. Link has to break back up in and claim this level. If it runs up and gets rejected at this level, we could be looking at consolidation on a lower end for a while. You know, instead of having that significant break and making a run, we could see it drop, much like it does here, right? It drops out of this into this one. It drops out of this one into this one. Out of this one into this one. So now this thing's dropped out and potentially into another one. Now again, if we can reclaim this, that changes that idea immediately and we can reconsider it being bullish again. But for now, as things are losing the levels, it's just the momentum isn't there yet. Which is okay, that goes along with the dominance chart we were just looking at, right? Okay, render. Obviously, we were looking for the pullback because it ran right up to our curve idea. So we've pulled back down to this level again. Same thing, we're going to look to hold this level. We're going to zoom in to smaller time frames. We're going to try to find a bullish pattern idea in here that we like, that actually looks bullish. It doesn't actually look that. What's going on with the mouse? Not that amazing. What we're looking for as we get to the end of this, much like here, when we get to the end of these trends, you're going to see a momentum switch. So that's what we're looking for here as well. So you're looking for this to start happening now. This is what we want to see start happening now. Okay, and then that's going to lead us into the higher highs, higher lows, and get us into some kind of a run. And ideally that'll become something like an uptrend like this. And this will be the bull run everybody's waiting for. But we've got a lot of wish-wash in the middle. And right now, in my opinion, when we're at the lows and we're pulling back and we're having big red days on stuff like this, these are the times to be looking and considering making entry ideas. Of course, that's not financial advice. Never take advice from a person on YouTube. Alright, Aerodrome, same thing. You know, a lot of these things are looking the same. We're down in this lower level. We're in this falling pattern. When exactly does it roll over? It's hard to judge that. But if I had to choose between making an entry on something down here in one of these 3 points, or up here in one of these 3 points, I think I know that I would be entering down here, personally. XRP. And once we go through this list, we're going to go down into some small time frame stuff, and we'll talk about a few things in there. There's a couple of things that I want to talk about today, so we're going to run through the list a bit here first, and then we'll do that. Okay, so XRP, not much changed. Same pattern, same idea. We were in this. We did run up and try to do a bit of a run, but obviously weren't able to break through there, and we had to sell off with everything else. So again, we now have to wait for a pattern to unfold differently. Classic. You know, it's funny. I was in a group watching someone's video a few months ago, and I threw out, I was like, "That's a classic Bart Simpson on the way," and they laughed and said, "Nah, it's not a Bart Simpson, man." Well, it wasn't at the start, but it's starting to look like the old Bart Simpson now, isn't it? But again, I mean, you get this long, drawn-out pattern. Even another super consolidated pattern inside of that. And then you get this explosion run up, and it makes the exact same pattern in the reverse. On a key resistance level. And you got people on there telling you that when it gets to the higher high, it's looking bullish again and you should enter. And that is wrong. I'm sorry, that's wrong. What was happening was a double top with bearish divergence, and that's what we've been talking about in the video. There's no hype here. And that's exactly what we saw play out. Rolled over significantly. Alright, virtual definitely broke down below our "we were really hoping you would hold" line. But again, when you're looking at stuff like this, we have to recognize that it's new, it's fresh, there's not as much data. It's really hard to to chart stuff when it's this fresh. But we could be looking at the same kind of idea now. You know, looking to see this hold here and be able to actually make a change. Or if not, this just becomes a wishy-washy new coin with no real end in sight. That's why it's so much harder to use technical analysis to trade moves on newer stuff. Hey, Dave B in the house. Nice to see you, man. Hope all has been well with you, sir. Alright, Wild was in the eyeball, right? The eyeball last time. And we're still holding the eyeball. Yeah, we're doing great over here. 3D printing up a storm and just trading and charting. Same old. Getting a little sick of the snow over my way, but it'll melt here in a month or so. Okay, so same thing here. What we were hoping for was, again, to hold, break out of this in an upward direction, but we didn't. We broke in a downward direction. So your big move is that last final rejection on the curve all the way down to the new area where we're gonna form and consolidate for a while. So that curve is going to potentially turn into this curve, which gives us something that we're not super worried about if it doesn't give us that perfect bullish idea. Now, if we come back and look at this, and all of a sudden we have this down at the bottom of this idea here, you know, if we start to do something like this, now you're going to have my attention again, at least looking for that move from the bottom of this idea up to here, and then that's going to be something that has my attention again. But until we see that consolidation, there's no form to it until we have this. I mean, we were able to look at this and say, oh boy, we think things could roll because we had all this data behind us. We don't have that now. We're in a new area and we're slowly going to form the information we need to make a smart decision. Yeah, so near, again, we were wondering if we were just going to make this nice slow run down to this level. We did not do that. We just, boom, right to this level. But this is a key level for near. Now let's wipe this all together now and relook at it with the new information that we have. Isn't it ironic that not only anyone that was heavily invested in this way up here probably works at McDonald's, but that's what the chart ended up looking like? That can't be ironic. So this is what we were hoping we would see, and we even went as far as to clone this down, but we've lost this now, right? So I will become interested in something like this when we are able to get back into here, which again, now that we've broken below, could be as simple as some type of a consolidation pattern down here. But I'm not going to touch something like this until I see that happen, because it very well could just bearish retest and continue on down, because it's so new. We don't have a lot of information on this. Once we break these key levels, we lose all points of reference, and this could be something that ends up, I mean, I'm not saying it is, but you could be looking at something that dips down and dies for 2 years. So you're really looking for the bullish patterns, the bullish ideas. Yeah, well, we've been minus 30 here for the past 2 days, and I'm sure we've still got over a foot of snow out there, so yeah, it's fun. But it could also leave anytime. My boy loves it, obviously. We got a massive snow hills and forts built out there. Well, there's not much good to say about that, is there? That is just not great. So we're not even getting chance for consolidation on some of these, and again, anything like that, I would just wait until you see some type of a pattern form. That ran almost to all-time lows. And another thing too, I should have mentioned this earlier, if you're going through your list and you're looking at things on the daily and 3-day, you're going to notice some volume spikes on some of these. that are clearly there, and you're not seeing much on something like this right now. But some of these, there are clearly volume spikes right now. All right, ADA. Last time around, we said we were looking for a big, scary pullback to kind of match this big, scary pullback before we bottom out and see that run. This looks a lot like Ethereum kind of right now, right? Where you're in this big pattern and we're waiting to see it hold and start to work its way up and give us what we want for the alts, though. So again, with everything we've talked about today, about how we're working on being there, but we're not quite there, this is the idea, and this is what we're looking to see happen. And again, if you had to choose between places to be making your entries with these coins, would you be making them up at these higher levels? Or would you be trying to scale in on these lower levels? So this is the idea, is that somewhere in this area, we are able to find our support, and we will start to respect this pattern all the way from 3 years ago. Much like we did over here. Alright, Dogecoin. Alright, okay, come on. You can't make that up. So, we were here and we were looking to see if we were going to come to a hard pullback to this level. Because again, we're looking for the same thing. We're in this large... What we're looking for this trend to swoop around and push in the upward direction. But oftentimes, before we do that, we'll see that big hard pullback. It scares everybody. Everybody says they're out, crypto's dead. And then it catches itself and runs. And then the next thing you know, 4 months pass, and you're like, well, I'm going to buy on the pullback, but the pullback never comes. And then finally it runs up 1,000%. It pulls back 30%, and you're like, there's my pullback, I'm getting in. And then it pulls back 60% more because the run is long over. So again, when you're hitting these levels, when you're in these areas, if you're long-term playing it, dollar cost averaging in down here is much more beneficial than trying to FOMO in up top. If you're doing the small time frame stuff, that's different. You can use these patterns, use the ideas, use the market cycles and the risk management, put it all together, and you can enter and exit quickly, and you can make your money on your runs. You're going to want to have a lot more time under your belt before you do stuff like that. Zorro tried to bounce. I think I shared it in the group. I said, oh, we tried to bounce here. But, again, failure. Did not hold what we were hoping it would hold. And that leads us to believe that we're going to see more. You know, nobody's coming to this right now and saying, oh, wow, I am going to fill my boots and trade this. It's fallen below an idea. It's had a big sell-off wick. Doing a bearish retest somewhere on this level. You know, somewhere in here it's doing a bearish retest, trying to see if it could stay inside, and it failed. So now we're going to want to see something bullish form. Zeus also had a nice little push up, immediate rejection pullback. Still very new. Again, I'm not super keen on trading stuff like this for bigger time frame ideas. I mean, if you're gonna trade things that have some confirmation, in my opinion. You know, the best we can do now, because this is still pretty fresh, the best thing we can do now is assume that this is our new pattern. And what we're looking for is holding here. And much similar to what we made last time, and it didn't pan out, is you're looking to see this able to reverse, make it to the top here. Maybe it does another curve this way as it breaks up and out. And ideally, when it breaks out of its next curve, it's going to turn into some type of an uptrend, right? This is kind of what you're looking at when you're seeing these break out of their patterns. They're gonna switch their momentum, break up above this previous line, form some type of a pattern here, and then make their run. But as it's falling through levels, and we're not seeing a nice third or fourth touch, it's not confirming that idea. You want to see the nice third or fourth touch on that falling wedge. That's going to put a lot of confidence into traders, and that's going to make the move happen. Cookie, we were really hoping was going to hold this level. We didn't hold the level. There's nothing else to say. We have to reevaluate our position. And this is why, when we're looking at these top coins, the older coins, notice how they move, but they didn't move as dramatically. There is nothing here. This is now at an all-time low. There's nothing here once you break levels to give you any ideas on where we could go next. We had these ideas. We said, okay, we could come down here and we could test for support. And we were looking at that stuff way up here after we had this first run. But unfortunately, once you get to that level, we have nothing to tell us what could happen next. Who knows where this catches support and when. When we had a falling wedge pattern, and we saw it, and this was when we had it in the group as a setup idea. When we saw it in this, we got an idea that it was going to make a run. Right now, we're not seeing anything like that. This isn't even a falling wedge. It's not holding in any particular spot. So now we're looking at something along this line. But unfortunately, until we see another hold on here, I wouldn't be too concerned about it. We'll keep an eye on it though, obviously. You know, so now this is what we're looking at. We need to see this hold. We need to see bullish idea form. And then that's going to give us a run, potentially, up into these upper levels again. That's what we have to look for now. Okay, so here's another one again. We were really hoping to see our line hold here. It didn't hold. This move is still very much an option. Nava AI did do a run to the top of the pattern. We were looking for it to break out and run to this level, but it got to the top of the pattern and got rejected, and it pulled right back. So still watching this level, still looking for entries down in these levels, but we haven't in fact broken out of this yet. Well, look at that. Pi gonna end up being like the biggest rocket ship in the world? Even though I continue to say I don't want to talk about it on the stream. Okay, ARC AI rig. Not much changed on the idea. I mean, I really think that we got to make a decision once we bust out of here now. And this is going to change now. That was last video. This is going to run up here now. You're going to be in a rising wedge idea. Now, super bullish idea for this. It's very, very possible that it's allowed to bounce here, run up, break out of the top, and go insane when things happen. It's very allowed to do that. But until you see that happen, the best thing to assume is that it's going to draw out this pattern, get rejected, and break back down. If it does the other, it's a very, very bullish sign. So we want to break that down into two possible options. You're going to fill out the trade and then break up and move. Or you're going to fill out the trade, break down, bearish retest, and continue back down to a lower level. So you could be taking shorts on a chance up here, longs on a chance down here, until the pattern fills out, and then you can make an idea for a bigger move. But if you can estimate an area or an idea, then you can go into the smaller time frames, and you can kind of use that to help you better judge what you're going to trade with, how you're going to trade it. Ubik, again, very new, watching this hold, hoping to see something hold, but no real data to say that it will. And that just leads me to believe that, yeah, we could still be looking at that reversal. Obviously, we have had it every time where we've had a bull, reversal, bull, reversal. It's just now, instead of it being something that's going to happen immediately and hold that level, get people's attention and run, it could be something that lingers for a while, works to break back into the level before you get the move. These are just key things to be looking for as you're going through and charting. Mog, I don't even want to put lines on the chart yet. I mean, we can, but again, there's just not a lot of data. There's nothing to... Nada. Okay, dog, doge, or doji, doge. Oh yeah, we're just still kind of lingering in this area. We've held it. We did hold this area. Don't really have the divergence on our side anymore, though. Really be looking to see that hold. Not even necessarily making something that looks bullish right now. I mean, it clearly is trying to do some type of a reversal pattern, though. I can see that. You know, so it's trying to make that reverse around at the bottom of the pattern, right? As it's done many times before. Well, come to think of it, as it's done every single time that it's ever had an uptrend before, actually. Yeah. Yeah, that sure is strangely consistent. I couldn't possibly imagine what could be about to happen at the end of this one. Pepe, we were looking at, hoping it would hold. It did not hold, so the next level we were looking at was the bearish retest. Bearish retest confirmed, and we've pulled back since then. Again, we haven't come down dramatically, but we are coming down and testing, these areas here. Right now we're here. Was that significant back here? Yeah, I mean there's some levels there definitely. Next points if we're going to break that. I don't even really want to say that point. Something there. Let's just hope we don't break down too far here on this one. But again, it's level for level. I mean, we were holding on to this range for a while. We had 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. On the 9th time it rolled below, got rejected. So the trend is your friend until the end, right? And that's what we're seeing happen here. So now we have to kind of reevaluate this for a while. And the idea that we were talking about was if we did that, we were going to see something much like we've been talking about previously on this video today. So that's kind of what we were thinking, right? If we were to have held there, we would have seen some push and momentum, and maybe it would have tried to break and been super bullish. But unfortunately, we didn't see that, and that kind of, people lose the interest. The volume's not coming in yet. You'll know, I mean, look at the volume spikes here. Just before this runs, there's a 2 or 3 days where the volume goes massive, and then we end up doing that for another half a month of just insane runs. So that's what you'll see here too. You're going to see a couple of days of big volume spikes, and then it's all going to happen super fast. And then everything will go back to normal. Alright, Shiba Inu. We were watching for the full return from this level up at the top, all the way back down to these levels. We're officially down in those levels. So now what we're going to do, much like the other stuff, is, again, we're going to look for the reversal to happen. We're going to look for us to consolidate, switch over, and have our reversal. I mean, if you look at like an accumulation, markup, distribution, markdown, accumulation, markup, distribution, markdown, accumulation, right? Okay, so it's just a market cycle, it's basic market structure, it's not rocket appliances. So you gotta ask yourself, do I want to be looking at entering alts up here when we get back up into these levels, or do I want to be looking at getting into alts down here at these lower levels? Gala did not hold our idea. We had a nice little bounce there, a nice 32% bounce on our idea, but we did not hold. And again, there's a handful of things that did hold, and those are the things that I recommend putting your effort into and paying attention to right now. Because these will have their day, but I feel like because of the fact that they lost those key levels, we're going to see them linger a little longer than other things might. You can always set an alert on this line. If you're able to get that push back inside instead of that bearish retest, that could bring the momentum in pretty quick. It's very like crypto to do one last evil pullback just before it does the thing that everybody's been hoping it would do, right? That's very like crypto. Now you have a couple of choices here. You can make an entry on a lower idea, Or you can just set an alert for an upper idea and try a breakout and a retest level. Both trades are going to work if you enter them correctly. And both trades are going to be worth relatively a decent amount, you know. So those are 2 points of entry, 2 entry ideas. You want to see this reclaimed and hold, or you want to see that push through and break out and retest on top of this pattern. That exact strategy you can use in very, very small time frames as well. Be mindful of that. All right, CRV. We're looking at levels that we could be dropping down into. Obviously, we've started to do so. But again, the way that we have this chart, and I'm not going to show my actual setup charts, but I'm showing you guys basically the exact same thing. Okay, so we are most definitely in a large pattern. Okay. That, I'm sorry, but that looks incredible. So something to be very mindful of, right? We're down at these lower levels. Do we linger down here a little longer? Yes, maybe we do. But if you had to choose between making an entry on this line or this line, anybody that doesn't think that we're going to see altcoin season soon is bonkers. Losing its levels as well. That's as low as it's allowed to go right there. It's as low as it's allowed to go. And then it needs to start reclaiming levels. There's definitely no super bullish looking pattern down here right now. So you see these 2 points match up. You could see some type of a roll over here. Sui, yeah, who would have thunk? Not even able to hold that level. But it's hard to say. It's hard to say that it's done because it's so hard to perfectly judge exactly where these curves are going to happen. So I mean, it could linger over here still for quite some time. This could move slightly, you know, based on this new. But ideally, the idea would be that you're still in here, and you're still in this, And what you're looking for is to notice this and get in on a run for it. Right? So you're not concerned about getting in on this. You're waiting for this to form, and then once you see this start to change, you want to get in there as soon as you can, because obviously that's when everybody else is. And then you're going to make your nice run in the center of this. Now, if you're able to dollar cost average into the bottom of the pullbacks here, like if it pulls back, you dollar cost average, it pulls back, you dollar cost average, and then as it starts to run, that's the ultimate way to make these trades. But there are many ways to make these trades if you consider what patterns are, what they look like, how they play out, and how to have your risk management when you're trading them. And again, all of these patterns you will see on the large time frames and the small time frames. These patterns can be seen all over the place. The only difference is if you see them on a 1 minute time frame compared to a 1 day time frame, you're going to be taking profits significantly faster, obviously. If something pumps for 8 days on the daily time frame, it's probably going to pump for 8 minutes on the minute time frame, so you have to take your profits accordingly. Hey, Steve Hickey, nice to see you, man. Thanks for stopping by. We're just checking out the madness of the markets and trying to get our boots appropriately filled for the right season. Okay, Sonic, again, one of the newer ones that we've been looking at, but we've had it on the list. So we have broken down below this level, but it's so hard to talk bad about it. It's got a nice volume spike here, and it's just so new that I can't say anything bad about the fact that it broke that level. I mean, it doesn't mean anything that it's broken that level. Yeah, hey, it's nice to be back on here again. It's I'm trying to get on more and more, but the market's just stagnant, and I feel bad coming on here and telling you guys the same thing I told you yesterday if I was to come on every single day. But I guess we could do some small time frame shenanigans together if I did come on more often. I might not have to go over the big time frame stuff, but we could still get up to some chaos in the low time frames and go over some strategies there. Fetch AI hasn't really done anything out of the ordinary. This is basically what we were looking for, was to catch supports down in these lower levels. So I mean, in my opinion, we've done that. That's given us some, to me, that's some confirmation on my idea. Obviously, us breaking down below that would be the opposite of confirmation, and my idea at that point would be bust. But when I see things like this happen, that's going to give me some confirmation on my ideas, right? So whether we're looking for that bearish retest, or whether we have to adjust this now to those 3 points of contact, and now we deal with this being our low of our funnel and this being our high. And then what we're going to do is bring this over here, and we're going to try to find our perfect entry. We want to try to find our perfect level over here. We give it some grace. Okay, so much like over here, we've got our trend, and we've got our switch, we've got our trend, and we've got our switch. We've currently got our trend here, and we're just kind of lingering and waiting for that switch around to happen. Alright, and then oftentimes when you're on your uptrend, you're going to go into some type of this. You're going to get your 3 big drives up, or your 5 wave, however you want to look at it or slice it and break it down. Okay, so you go from your down to your up to to your down, to your up, to your down. Who could possibly know what's coming next? Good, thank you, Steve. I'm glad that you do. It might be a little different than other people's, the way that other people are explaining things on the market, but I promise you that there is a lot of benefit to pattern recognizing. A lot of it. Okay, did we do dot today? No, I don't think we did dot. Actually, I think me and my son were looking at dot earlier. Yeah, so again, basically what we've been talking about, right? We were not able to hold that level that we were really wanting to hold. So again, it's not the end of the world, but now we're looking at going stagnant before we can get back in there. All in all, we're looking for these consolidated coins to explode in the up direction. It's just about when exactly they're going to pull it off. Compound. Oh wow, that really did fall right on. I shouldn't even put that curve there. It kind of was too perfect. Fell right into it. Whoops. Maybe I should stop drawing these lines, guys. Alright, so same thing. It was looking so great. We were really hoping to see a hold and to get that nice little run, like oftentimes we would. Just obviously the momentum's not there. Bitcoin was losing its speed at the same time, so all of these little extra runs have turned into roll downs. But again, that's not the end of the world. It just means it's cheaper for you, and it's going to now consolidate in the other direction. Well, we left the room for Filecoin to drop here, but it didn't do it. Not much really has changed. We've pulled back some. I guess if we pulled this up to where it's actually touching in some spots, we might be able to say that we've had a bounce there. But again, I kind of like to keep things to the lower levels because there's a good chance you're going to see the rollover and you're going to touch the lower levels on a double bottom with some divergence or something. So, I mean, I'd rather not rush and miss a couple of trades than rush and screw up a couple of trades. The options are there, right? So same thing's gonna go with if we were looking at the 1 minute time frame. If this was 1 minute time frame right now, you're waiting for this pattern to confirm itself, and you're making your entry somewhere over here. If you draw that pattern out and you sit here and have a coffee, and all of a sudden it's riding up your pattern idea, you're going to consider an entrant on the idea that you're going to move, right? But if you're looking at this and your idea rolls over, you're not going to jump in on the idea that it's going to pop back. You're just going to have to move your idea because this pattern looks great and your idea is probably relevant. It just isn't happening yet. So then you're going to have to move your idea. But as long as you're making your entries, in my opinion, at these lower areas, and you're waiting to see that 1, 2, 3, say 4 or 5th touch at the bottom of this falling wedge. It's a big falling wedge. And we're going for 4 or 5 touches now. You're going to keep your losses to a minimum, and your gains are going to be to the max. I mean, who cares if it breaks out? If you're able to score a spot here and catch a run to here, why would it even matter if it broke out? 200% is great. Maybe you take half of it out, let half of it ride, right? Alright, ICP we were looking at. Whoop whoop. And again, nothing Nothing too worrisome. We've just pulled back, right back to the levels that we'd drawn out. So what we're looking at is we're looking for some type of a bullish idea down here. Here, if we went in there, I could almost guarantee you that you've got some type of a double bottom with some divergence. Here, you've got a double bottom with some divergence. I'm almost sure of it. So what we're needing to find over here is we're going to want to see the same thing. We're getting there. Actually, this is a nice pattern. So that's probably why people were so responsive to that. It's a great pattern, and then it breaks up out of the top and then just starts to run. But then again at the top, you get your reversal idea here. I'm trying to draw two. You get your reversal idea. And you probably get the same thing over here. Dave, that is the smartest way to do it, man. That's how I am, too. I have zero regrets when I pull 90% or all of it out and it keeps running. I could care less. It means nothing to me. If I sell off my trade and it was a total victory and it runs to space, I couldn't care less. That's just not what I'm trading for. I'm not in here looking to moonshot and, retire. I'm here keeping this sustainable, and that involves taking profits, paying yourself, and keeping your shit growing. If you don't do that, you're just paying everybody else that's actually paying the bills. Alright, Litecoin. Oh, even Litecoin did it on us. That's no fair. I'm always rooting for Litecoin. I don't know why, but I always am. But yeah, we lost it. That's just not gonna give people a lot of confidence in Litecoin right now. Nobody ever thought they'd be selling all their Bitcoin at $2 under 100,000. I'd say good trade, sir. And now you're at a pretty good discount. I've got a friend of mine that last time we were at 75. I told him to grab some. He said, no, it went down so much, it's scary. And then it went up to 125. And then at 125, he goes, wow, you're right, maybe I should get some, eh? I said, no, don't worry about it, it'll come back down. And so now it's all the way back down. Yeah, no, that's super smart. Good job, David. That's exactly how to do it, man. I didn't leave any to run. I took the money and ran. That's the way to go. And now you've got all that capital, and it's significantly cheaper. And we could go lower. It's very possible that we go lower. If it's going to get nasty, it's going to get nasty. We're going to have our typical pullback, and then we're going to have the FOMO. We're going to have the people just fearfully selling. That's going to trigger stop losses that have been there for 2 years. It's going to get nasty when it finally does the big oomph, if it's going to do it. Oh wow, look at Aster here. No one's even talking about it. It's probably one of the cleanest bumps that we had this week. Right down to our line. 2 perfect closes on our line, and then run right up and a clean close above. How about that? What's up with this thing? Why the hype on that? That's a clean pattern. I like that. Now, I wouldn't say it's through it yet, though. Right. Okay. Nice. Yeah, gold. We're gonna look at the stocks here in a bit. I think last video we were talking about how we were probably going to be looking at somewhat of a pullback at some point. Everything needed to cool down. And boy, oh boy, we had a nice little week of cool downs. again, really just trying to break that level I made. That doesn't really count though. I mean, that's definitely still in that range. Most definitely sitting in there. Okay, I mean, for the entirety of the life of this, since it's existed, when it gets to these levels, it bounces. I know there's a lot of looking into the future here, but I'm not trying to tell you what Zen is going to do in 4 years. I'm trying to show you how this pattern typically plays out so that you can use it on multiple time frames and you can get used to the ideas. Again, every single time frame, these patterns are usable. They're going to have a higher percentage of playing out on the larger time frames, and they're going to last longer on the larger time frames. But these are scalable patterns and scalable trading ideas. It'll be interesting to see. I'm curious to see where gold's going to level off. Because, I mean, at some point, obviously, it's going to just level off for a little bit and take a breath. I'm interested to see where it chooses to do that. We'll look at that stocks here in just a second. Game. I think that's one that we were asked to add last video as well. And, I mean, yes, it's not looking terrible. The pattern's a nice pattern, but it's pulling down into the low. You want to see it claim this and push. And what you're going to notice on there is somewhere in a smaller time frame, you're going to see a reversal pattern happening. So this is what you're going to be looking for, is the reversal pattern to happen. Much like up at the top, you saw a reversal pattern. I know that looks sketchy, but like, let's humor me here. Let's go in and look at that. Let's really go in and look at it. I mean, it's as clean can be. It's the cleanest reversal pattern in the world. That is blatantly obvious that that's a reversal pattern. There's no denying it. It's arcing up here. It does the big Z jump in the middle, and then it arcs the other way, and it just rides along the whole thing until it dies. These are clear, very clear patterns. Same thing with this one. It's formed with these touches, and then it gets here, and look at it climb. Look at it climbing up until finally, boom, into the next range. It's as clear as day. Yeah, well, that's when it started to get up there, that's what I was saying. I had another friend of mine, and he was saying he was going to add some more. He's like, I'm going to load up again, he said to me. I was like, I don't know, man. I would just wait a week or two. I mean, what are you going to miss out on? Like another $200 or $300 worth of runs? Or is it going to pull back and you're going to get a discount? And yeah, boy, oh boy, did we get a bit of a discount there. But I mean, that's inevitable, right? Gold has been rallying like crazy. All right, so that's basically what we've got right now on this side of our alt list. If there's anything else that you want added to the list, join the Discord, talk to me about it, and we'll get it added to the list, and we'll go over some stuff. All right, we'll check out some stocks, and then we'll go in and we'll hang out in some small time frame Bitcoin for a few minutes. All right, so gold spot. Yeah, so we were looking at. Oh, it's actually recovering pretty quick, isn't it? Not doing too bad. I was expecting us to do much worse than that for a pullback. I don't think that's the pullback yet. What a run. Have we even hit our cup and handle target though? Oh yeah, we're long past the target idea of that cup and handle. I don't know, it's looking blow off toppy right now. I mean, jeez, can I extend this? It's still above. Until we go to the other side of that blue line, I'm convinced it's going to be all right. But once we go to the other side of that blue line, we are coming down to test some levels. Yeah, somewhere on, yeah, okay. Yeah, 35-ish, yeah, that would be here. That would 100% make sense, yeah. Wow. Yeah, I mean, gold's never super drastic, but we had 45 there. Pull back. We'll meet in the middle for a 45% pullback to 3K. We'll take the 35 and we'll take my 25 and we'll meet in the middle around 3K. Tesla. Oof, I drew that super scary looking the last time I was on here, didn't I? Gosh, let's make that less scary looking, shall we? I've sold all my Tesla. I don't have any left. I was buying. I literally nailed this Tesla trade. But no, I mean, ideally that's it. We're looking for it to break here and be aggressive, or we're looking for it to linger. That's a bit aggressive. Let's do like the three phase curve here. Curving out for sure. At this point, I would move that. You kind of lead me to believe we should be moving this. Will the graphics card super giant lose its level and linger, or will it go hyperbolic? Just have to see. Again, we're waiting now for this range to play out, and then once that range plays out, you have a couple of choices: going this way, going this way. Okay. that range runs and runs, stays right in it all the way until it pinches down into the corner, and then boom, your move goes. So we're looking for the same thing, and then our move can go. Palantir, the guys that are going to make a living off of spying on you when you flush your toilet. Probably gonna do very well. Hopefully gonna curve over and go to 0. But we'll never get that lucky, will we? We did lose this level though. But again, it's such new price action that, I mean, this is just as consistent of a line. Yeah, I think we looked at the packs. Yeah, the Super Scam Wicks and the PAX Gold. Yeah, we were looking at that last time. Yeah, there's definitely some interesting candles in there. Somebody made a lot of money. Yeah, that makes sense though. Yeah, you were explaining that last time. That makes sense. A little bit of insight. Don't go telling those secrets to too many people though, my goodness. Lucid. Hey, Lucid's doing alright today. I've been trading Lucid and watching Lucid and catching Lucid on pullbacks for a long time. But I've been looking at this pattern quite a while on Lucid. It's a gargantuan falling wedge. And yes, I think it's the proper word used for the word gargantuan, so I'm using it confidently. And then the old dinos that just do what they do. The last time it was even relevant to chart those was when we had the pullback, and all we said about them was V-shaped recovery carrying on, because that's just what happens all the time, and sure enough, there isn't much more to say about those, is there? All right, give me a couple of seconds. I'm going to use the restroom, and then we're going to go into some lower time frame stuff and look at some local ideas and talk a little bit about a new platform that I've been trading on and why I think it's pretty epic, and I'll go over a little bit about that. All right, give me a minute, guys. Talk soon. All right, we're back. Okay, so we're going to go in and check out some local stuff. And then I think that was a pretty good recap. But maybe we'll test that out. Maybe we'll test the thing we were talking about with Steve. We'll pop on and just do some like low time frame shenanigans. See how that goes for a whole stream. Okay, so locally, and I'm going to do this on the Discord too, just so that I can break down my ideas and you can see what I'm sharing and why. So if we go to the Discord, and keep in mind this is on the free side of the Discord. So after we identified this idea, and we identified, oh, you can't see that. Okay, so after we identified that idea, that drop on this chart, we went to this chart and we drew out this first curve here. This first curve that you're seeing right here. Okay? We drew that idea out and we gave that idea out. That idea did, in fact, play down for our bearish retest. Then we drew this line way back there. We drew this line. And then next we drew this curve and this line to follow. And this is all live time as it's happening, exactly as it's happening. I mean, multiple times in a row here, I gave you the reversal. Boom, there's the reversal. Boom, there's the reversal. Boom, there's your reversal. And then we got this nice spike. And that was the top. That was it. So once again, I shared it. I said, look, this is our, we got our top ideas. And we get rejected. We fall down below our idea. We do our bearish retest on our idea. And now we're still teetering on those exact levels. We're teetering on those levels. And right now it's a rejection. So we're looking for this to play out and get that top in for us, which is going to just be farther confirmation on this rejection of this level. And we're going to hit this and we're going to roll over, carrying on with our pattern and continuing us down in the higher time frame for a double bottom, or unfortunately, potentially that push to that lower level. But we've been playing this out pattern for pattern since 25K. Or sorry, since 125K. We have been playing this out pattern for pattern. I just wanted to share that. Just so you're not think this isn't smoke and mirrors. I'm giving this out as it's happening, level for level. Now, do I come right out and say, do I come over to your house, grab you by the hand, take you to your computer, turn it on for you, punch in your password, and hit the buy button? No. But I give all of the information. And if you have any questions and you aren't sure of how to trade, you join the group for a month and we do one-on-ones in the paid side. And I sit down with you one-on-one screen share in Discord and we talk about where you're at and where you want to go. Instead of you joining the group and there being 100 people in there that are just catching little fish, I'm in there teaching people how to fish one-on-one so that they can get to the level they want to be at. If that sounds like something you like, if you're someone that learns a little better having that attention instead of being thrown into the mix of chaos, it's something to consider. If you don't want to do the paid thing, the free side has lots of information. I just proved that this video. That being said, on a side note, I have spoken to a gentleman and he has presented me with an exchange. And usually I say no to things like this immediately, but I thought I would give it a try because he seemed like a pretty swell gentleman. And I started doing some trading on WEEX. It's actually an amazing platform. I'm going to get it loaded up next video, the platform itself, and I'll do some trading right on the platform with everybody just so you can see that I'm not talking smoke. I'm pretty picky when it comes to what I trade on, so usually I'm not impressed. I actually really enjoy the interface of the platform, so we're going to talk a little bit more about WEEX, and I now have a link below that you can click for amazing bonus discounts on WEEX. And when we bring this chart up next video and we go down and we look at just some of the cool things that actually has that you can do as far as a trader goes, I think it's probably one of the better platforms out there, or else I wouldn't even be doing this right now. So check that out. I'm not getting anything for this. I'm actually doing this because I think it's a great platform and there's some cool bonuses in there for you. So please check that out if you're interested. Okay, so the next thing I think we want to look for again is this level right here. If we're unable to break above this level, we are going to quickly get the lower high in this local area, and we're going to push for that lower low, and we're going to downtrend here. We really need to see this curvature break if we're going to do something bullish. Now what that would look like is our curve here on our moving averages is actually going to be successful, and our 50 is going to break up above our 200, and we're going to take this level and this level, and we're going to at least get some type of a V-shaped recovery to finish. If it's going to be able to break and hold and run higher, we're going to have to take that level by level. That's going to come down to whether or not this level is going to hold. Now to get this level, I took this level up here and I just pulled it down. That's how we got this bounce level. So what we want to see from Bitcoin, if Bitcoin is going to remain bullish, is we want to see this catch and push, and we want to see this hold and break up out of here and hold these levels. If we want altcoins to run, Bitcoin can officially do nothing and altcoins can run. But that's again going to come down to dominance. All right, so locally, I don't really know what else I could say about the local pattern right now. I think we broke everything down pretty good today, guys. If you were here with us, thank you so much for joining. And if you're seeing this later on, thanks for stopping by afterwards. Please hit the like button, subscribe button, share this out. There's lots of juicy information in this episode. It means the world to me if anybody can, kind of help push the page. The algorithm is not kind these days. I'm just trying to stress out my tax attorney. Well, yeah, that's a good way to do it. Sign up for every exchange under the sun. No, you know what? It's really funny because most of the time when you join these things, a lot of people will join them just for the sign up bonuses, and they don't even care about the exchange itself. And then they get on there and they realize that the sign up bonuses don't actually go through, and they're not going to get them. This thing actually gives you sign up bonuses. So even if you're just doing it to have another exchange to make your attorney upset, you might get something out of it. You never know. But yeah, I'm going to have that loaded up for next video. I'm going to have it set up so I can switch back and forth, because I would like to do some live trading with you guys too. Even if we're just doing small stuff. I don't like posting a lot of my, if you'll notice in the group, I'll post my charts, but I don't like posting my money. I had a bad thing happen a few years ago and I got scammed for a lot of money. That's all I'm going to say. And so there's just some things I'm not as comfortable as sharing. Those that do share that information, kudos to them. But I'm scarred for life for stuff like that. So you don't see me often share a lot of personal things. But I'm going to try to get over that and make an account. And even if I just throw 100 or 200 bucks on it, just so that we can do some live trade ideas together, I think I can get over my fear. It's a valid fear to have in a space like this. I'll say that. Yeah, so far I'm really impressed with them. All right, guys. Yeah, we're going to leave it there for today. If you have any questions about anything we went over, if you want to see some hard copies of these charts, I'm happy to share them with you. Go down below, join the link for the Discord, and chat with me, and we'll get you some of these coins, and we'll get you some of these ideas, and we'll get everybody making money, because that's what we're all here to do, right? We're here to learn, and we're here to grow. So thanks again, and we'll see you guys next time. Cheers.